Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to talk about this story because I've spoken about this influencer before. A few months ago, she did a petition advocating for plus size travelers, saying that the planes need to be built differently, essentially, have wider aisles, have bigger toilets, and basically saying that she wants us to pay for it because that's exactly what's going to happen if she was to get her way. It would just make travel a lot more expensive and a lot more inaccessible to everybody else. And now she's going for hotels. She wants hotels to be considerate of plus size travelers or plus size guests. I guess she wants hotels to be built differently too. The hallways are too narrow, the beds aren't big enough perhaps. She wants a lot of changes to be made to make sure people like her can travel more freely, can travel more comfortably. From my understanding, when there are certain buildings, when they are engineering planes, everything is built for what is considered average, because you can't account for every variation of size. There are people who are 6'7". They have a hard time when they go traveling too. But are we going to now say that planes should be built differently for them? No, we don't hear from people in that category. They just get on with it. And I'm finding what we're seeing now is everybody wants the rest of society to accommodate them, to accommodate their differences or their needs. And there are consequences to that. There's give and take for everything. And of course, there's the obvious question that people have. Why don't you lose some weight? Why don't you get healthy? Because that's what's important. So let's take a look at the story. Plus size influencer who petitioned for free extra plane seats now calls on hotels to enlarge hallways. So yes, she had a petition a few months ago asking for plus size people to be given a free extra plane seat, even 2 extra plane seats if necessary. And again, this wasn't a matter of allow people to have that option if they want to pay for it. No, this was saying that this should be given to people of her size for free. And we know that nothing comes for free. So what she means is on our dime. And if you've checked plane tickets recently, traveling is no joke when it comes to being able to afford to travel. So I don't know where she's going with this, but travel is expensive as it is. And it's getting more and more expensive and becoming more and more inaccessible to people. So good luck with that. And she did manage to get 35,000 signatures for that petition, but she didn't reach her goal. Her goal was 50,000. Air travel should be comfortable and accessible for everyone, regardless of size. As plus size travelers, my partner and I have unfortunately experienced discrimination and discomfort while flying. During a flight from Pasco to Denver, my fiancé was subjected to hateful comments, disapproving looks, and even refusal to sit next to them, amounting to discrimination. Similarly, on another flight, I was forced to occupy only one seat with immovable armrests that caused me pain and bruises. Now that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I don't condone, making disparaging remarks to people who are, on the bigger side. I don't condone, bullying and hateful comments of any kind just because of somebody's size. No. But there have been people on flights who had to sit next to somebody who was on the bigger side, and nobody cared about the average size person or the slim person. Nobody cared about how it made them feel, how it affected them. And the fact that they paid for their seat, yet they had to share with somebody of a bigger size who infringed upon their space, which they paid for. Nobody seems to care about that, and the airlines don't seem to care about that either. Sometimes it's not necessarily somebody being hateful or somebody not wanting to sit next to you because, they are prejudiced. It could very well be because they don't want their space to be infringed upon, that they feel that you should pay for 2 seats. If you're going to take up a significant portion of their seat, they're going to automatically believe that's not fair because they've paid for their seat and they're able to fit within their space that's allocated to them. Everyone should stay within the space they're allocated. Somebody of a regular size, she was trapped between 2 overweight people, and she spoke about it on Twitter or X. And the airline didn't really seem to be sympathetic towards her. I am currently literally wedged between 2 obese people on my flight. This is absolutely not acceptable or okay. If fat people want to be fat, fine. But it is something else entirely when I'm stuck between you and your arm rolls on my body for 3 hours. She got a lot of backlash for that tweet, but she was just speaking of her experience. The airline were unsympathetic. They said that they welcome everybody, things of that nature. But they failed to recognize that they were going against their own policy. It's airline policy that everybody has space allocated to them for safety reasons. You're not supposed to be wedged between two people and not have the space that is designed for you to have. You're supposed to have adequate space when you travel. Not extra, not more than what you've paid for, but the space that is allocated to everybody should be available to everybody on that flight. And that is for safety before anything else. So again, it's a matter of some people expecting their needs, their wants and desires, their so-called rights to be put before everybody else's. A plus-size influencer who previously demanded airlines comp larger passengers for extra seats is now asking hotels around the world to make a number of changes to better accommodate overweight guests, including by making the hallways wider. In a video posted to her TikTok last month, Jae'lynn Chaney listed several ways hotels can create size-inclusive amenities. She said she is on a mission to revolutionize the travel industry and make it a more accessible, accepting, accommodating place for all, adding, "The needs of plus-size travelers matter just as much as anybody else. We deserve an environment that respects our needs and body diversity," Chaney claimed. Among her many demands were to make elevators and hallways more spacious, to allow easy movement for larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. Now, I would think that hotels do have measures in place to accommodate people with mobility scooters, because that doesn't just apply to people who are overweight. That could be anybody, obviously anybody with a disability. So they already have those things in place. But to say that you want elevators to be bigger, hallways to be wider, again, these buildings are designed and these elevators are designed for the average person. Even when you walk into an elevator, it says the limit of people that are allowed, in the elevator for safety reasons. And that's not, the limit 8 obese people. That's 8 average size people. Again, you have people who are 6'7". They have to duck everywhere they go. Sometimes it's uncomfortable for them. And they're willing to pay more so they can be more comfortable. They're not demanding that everyone else pays for them. And height is something that is completely out of your control, as opposed to overeating, eating junk food, and being inactive. Those things are more within our control. But you can't expect everyone else to make allowances for your choices. We know that obesity carries a lot of health issues, a lot of complications, which is why the life expectancy for somebody who is obese is a lot less.
I'm on a mission to revolutionize the travel industry and make it a more accessible, accepting, accommodating place for all. The needs of plus-size travelers matter just as much as anybody else, and today I'm going to cover what we are looking for in accessible, size-inclusive hotel amenities. Size-inclusive hotel amenities are crucial for ensuring that plus-size travelers feel welcomed, accommodated, and comfortable during their stay. We deserve an environment that respects our needs and body diversity. These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size-inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests in guest rooms, lobbies, and common areas to accommodate different body sizes and types. Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity, along with providing reinforced chairs and wider bathroom facilities. Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Offer adjustable handheld shower heads and raised toilet seats for added accessibility. Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes.
Obviously, that's a given. Staff should be trained to be accommodating, be respectful, no matter what a person's size is. These other requirements, unless we're talking about a disability, which, again, hotels do have things to accommodate people with disabilities. They have special hotel rooms, special bathrooms. The disabled toilets are designed differently. That's one thing. But if you're talking about accommodating somebody because of their size, and we're not even talking about height, we're talking about weight, that's not how the real world works. Again, you can't make allowances for every variation of size. Are we talking about accommodating someone up to morbidly obese, or just, a little bit on the bigger side? What are we talking about here? And usually when you want to be comfortable with doing something, you change. You make changes to your lifestyle that is going to make things easier for you. When I go on hikes and things of that nature, if I'm struggling, I know that I need to train better. I need to improve my fitness so that I'm more comfortable next time I go hiking. I'm not expecting the trail to have a lift to get me to the top of the mountain because I can't be bothered to train. I mean, these are simple things. These are changes that we have to make. We have to take responsibility for our own lives, for our own choices. We take the responsibility. We don't expect everyone else to make allowances for our lack of responsibility. Health conditions aside, if somebody's overweight due to their diet, they have to take responsibility for that. The rest of the world is going to accommodate the average person because that's the only thing that makes sense. Everything that is within our control, we can make the necessary changes so that we're comfortable when we travel. That's it. Everything she's advocating for makes things more expensive, makes things less accessible to people. That's my thing. It's you're going to advocate for all these things for plus size people, but then you're going to hurt people who don't have the budget she clearly has, because she seems to travel a lot. People who don't have her budget can't afford to have extra seats incorporated into the price of their ticket. People who don't have her budget can't afford to have bigger rooms incorporated into the price of their hotel room, because it's the consumer who's going to have to pay for all of this. She's completely dismissing reality. These businesses are going to have to make a profit somehow. So if they're going to accommodate for every variation of size, it's the consumer who's going to have to cover that cost, including her. She's going around traveling now, but if we have to accommodate all her demands, which is not going to happen, obviously, but still, this is getting enough attention to get thousands upon thousands of signatures. And it's encouraging people to stay unhealthy because you're advocating for the rest of the world to change rather than for you to take a few steps to improve your lifestyle. And let's not forget, this is a hustle for this woman. Her brand is a plus size traveler. If she was to lose weight and just travel as a regular person, the people who follow her would be drastically reduced. Because these days we shame people for losing weight and getting healthy. We've gone so far the other way now. The people who take the steps to improve their lifestyle, they're the ones who get shamed. They're the ones who get criticized and even called bigots because they decide they want to lose weight for themselves to improve their lives. They're the ones dealing with the consequences of being obese. So when they decide that they want to lose weight so they can feel better in their own skin, the audacity of people on the internet to shame them, to criticize them, to make them feel less than, to make them feel bad. That's where we're at now in 2023. It's pretty insane.
As a plus size babe, it can be so hard to find a towel that actually wraps all the way around you.
Another issue with this influencer and influencers like her, they encourage people to ignore the warning signs. They encourage people to ignore the wake-up call that they've been given. If you go to use a towel and you can't wrap it around yourself, perhaps that's a wake-up call for you. Perhaps that's an indication that losing a few pounds would be of benefit to you. But they encourage people to ignore that. They blame the towel manufacturer. They blame the chair manufacturer. Whoever designed that chair didn't design it to be sturdy enough. When again, chairs are made for the average person. Everyone puts on weight. Everyone goes up and down. It happens to the best of us. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who it's their career to eat. And that is literally a thing. People like that, people who are in the plus size industry, who are making a lot of money, influencing people to remain unhealthy. Those are the people who for some reason expect the rest of the world to change, to accommodate their demands. And it's very unrealistic. It's not rooted in reality. But that seems to be a common theme these days.
Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. This will allow for plus-size guests and guests with different abilities to enjoy all amenities. Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options and sturdy chairs, ensuring that everybody can dine comfortably. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Provide oversized loungers and seating at the beach and pool areas, allowing travelers of all sizes and abilities to be comfortable. Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. These should go up to a size 6X and beyond. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably. And last but not least, this is an important one. Display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. And include information on the size-inclusive amenities available. This will help plus-size travelers make informed decisions. By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating. Be sure to hit that follow button for more plus-size travel tips and share this with someone who you think would help.
Well, at some point, the hotels probably will have to give all that information. So people know that we're not going to provide size 6L bathrobes. Because again, in order for things to be realistically available to everybody, the bathrobes have to be for people of average size. There's no size 0 bathrobes. So, I question these influencers. I don't think they're having the right influence on people. I think they're encouraging people to stay unhealthy, and they want you to be affirmed in being unhealthy, and I don't think that's right. I think we're going to see more and more, the consequences of this, and we are seeing that. There was the overweight influencer who had her own salon for women who were of a particular size, and sadly she ended up losing her life because of her size. So accommodating people, that sounds great, but not at the expense of health. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.